Chapter 1: The Colorful Ones of Timbuktu. In the distant galaxy of Andromeda, there existed a planet called Timbuktu. It was a world unlike any other, populated by two distinct races of beings, the blue and the green. The green beings were the majority on Timbuktu, with their vibrant green skin and shimmering emerald eyes. They were the rulers and the wealthiest individuals on the planet, controlling the political landscape and institutions with an iron grip. The blue beings, on the other hand, were a minority group with their deep blue skin and sapphire eyes. They were often marginalized and discriminated against by the greens, who viewed them as inferior and unworthy of their status. One fateful day, the ruler of Timbuktu, a powerful green being named Arlen, received shocking news from his sister, Liana. She had fallen in love with a poor, uneducated blue being named Kale and had recently given birth to a child. The news sent shockwaves through the planet, as interspecies relationships were strictly forbidden on Timbuktu. Despite his initial anger and disappointment, Arlen could not bring himself to turn his back on his beloved sister and her newborn child. He knew that the repercussions of their forbidden love would be severe, but he also understood that family came first. In a bold move, Arlen made the decision to banish Liana and Kale to the desolate planet of Drid, a barren wasteland on the outskirts of the galaxy. It was a harsh and unforgiving punishment, but Arlen believed it was necessary to uphold the laws and traditions of Timbuktu. As Liana and Kale were escorted to the spacecraft that would take them to Drid, Arlen watched with a heavy heart. His sister's tear-streaked face haunted him as the ship disappeared into the darkness of space, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and regret. Months passed, and Timbuktu continued on as usual, with the green beings reveling in their wealth and power. But despite the outward appearance of stability, Arlen could not shake the guilt and regret that weighed heavily on his heart. He knew that he had made a grave mistake in banishing his sister and her child, and he vowed to make amends. In a bold and unprecedented move, Arlen announced to the citizens of Timbuktu that he would be changing the policies and laws regarding interspecies relationships. He declared that love knew no boundaries, and that all beings, regardless of their color, deserved to be treated with respect and dignity. The news spread like wildfire across Timbuktu, sparking both outrage and hope among the green and blue beings. Some saw Arlen's actions as a betrayal of their long-standing traditions, while others welcomed the change with open arms. Meanwhile, on the planet of Drid, Liana and Kale struggled to survive in the harsh and unforgiving environment. But despite the challenges they faced, their love and determination never wavered. They dreamed of the day when they could return to Timbuktu and live openly as a family without fear or prejudice. And so, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, a glimmer of hope began to shine through the darkness. Arlen reached out to Liana and Kale, offering them a chance to return to Timbuktu and start anew. It was a risky move, but Arlen knew that it was the right thing to do. With tears of joy and gratitude in their eyes, Liana and Kale boarded the spacecraft that would take them back to Timbuktu. As they re-entered the atmosphere of their beloved planet, they were greeted by a sea of green and blue faces, united in their love and acceptance. And so, as the sun set on the horizon of Timbuktu, the colorful ones stood side by side, their hearts filled with hope and joy. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: love would always conquer hate, and unity would always triumph over division. And so, the colorful ones of Timbuktu lived happily ever after, united in their shared belief that love knows no boundaries.